No, Ted, who's your football team? Ohio University, the Bobcats.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Bobcat. Ohio State. Ohio State, baby.
Now, how did they do last year?
Fuck those
Pretty good. Pretty good. They did really good.
those guys.
National championship.
Big dogs are in the house!
The 84 jersey's out, man. I think this is going to be a fun ride. Bye, Felicia.
Inside the lane, drive, play another. Oh, goodbye, punch! Oh, my goodness! Where did he come from? Oh, behind the back jam by the big team. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Practice like this? Fuck! We up. Straight cash, homie.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Clocks here are bullshit, so.
Home run! Welcome back, Luke Allen.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for yet another "We're Winning the Lottery Like a Poor-Ass Family from Arkansas" edition of Andy Must Die, Minnesota Sports Talk. Kinda. And full disclosure, before we started recording, I just dropped like 7 F-bombs, so you know. I'm your not-so-humble co-host at Andy Carlson Show on Twitter, writing shotgun with a partner in crime, a woman who I did not write anything witty this week, so we'll just use last week's one. Has been on third base more than the Twins, at Di Murphy, MN. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
Now, you told me about your allergies earlier, so what about ragweed? That's like a name for your indie rock band.
No.
Ragweed. Opening for
No.
Pantera.
No.
That's all that.
That's terrible.
We're on
That's awful.
Twitter at Andy Must Die, all one word, D-I instead of D-I-E. The website is andymustdie.com. But we have a special guest. This is a threes a trois, or a triplets. Oh, no, we're the triplets. I'm Michael Irvin, for obvious reasons. Di is Emmett Smith, and Ted, you're Troy Aikman. What say you?
Okay. Yeah, it works for me.
All right, Ted Glover is in the house. He's on Twitter at Purple Buckeye. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Now, we wanted to have you on because of your retirement, your abrupt retirement. Now, I'm betting dollars to donuts that you're going to return Favre style. What say you?
Never say never, but I don't think so.
All right. Oh, I should mention, Ted, after 5 years at the Daily Norseman, cranking out great content and inspiring a lot of young and up-and-coming bloggers, hung him up and is just going to enjoy this season as a fan. Although I am kind of envious. I'm not going to lie.
Why is that?
You can just watch the games as a fan, and you don't have to worry about deadlines and hate mail and comments. And well, you'll probably still get hate mail because I'll send it to you.
I'm a blogger. I never had to worry about deadlines to begin with. But, yeah, I get your point. Yeah, it's going to be nice. It really is.
That's fair enough. So, are you excited? This is the 10th show of Andy Must Die. Do you know the 10th anniversary gift, by the way? We never looked that up.
It's probably something stupid.
Is
like
it White
paper
Castle?
or something?
No, it's like wood, crystal,
Wood?
White Castle, paper. Not in that order. I don't even know. But Ted, are you excited to join the show?
I'm about as fired up as a human being can be.
You sound a little subdued. It's yeah, a little something.
Well,
No,
here's the thing.
I'm good.
You
I'm good.
asked me how I felt about Ted retiring from DN, and I have a couple things to say, actually. You ready?
Go for it.
No.
I get that he's burned out. He does a lot, or he did a lot on the DN site. A lot of the moderating and a lot of dealing with the douchebags and idiots and whatever. But I still feel like he's going to come back. Like he can not do the moderating, and he can still do the Rick speak, and he can still do the stock market report, I feel like he's going to miss that when the season starts. I think he's going to come back.
Well, now, so you buried the lead here. What I'm gathering from your comments is that you are volunteering to do the moderation and the regulating of the comment section. Is that correct?
I would.
So I'm going to get Chris Gates on the phone. Wake his ass up in Germany.
If it would bring Ted back, I would totally do that. Of course, I would probably block everybody and,
Yes. It's tough to have a community when there's, nobody able to participate because they've all been blocked.
But you know what? There's so many of them who should be blocked. Seriously.
Well, it's not my problem anymore, so.
Well, yeah, comment sections are phenomenal because they never do what they're intended to do, which is foster meaningful, educated discussion about the article. There was an Instagram post by the Vikings. It was a really nice one. I think it was Teddy on Martin Luther King's birthday, and that's a nice quote there. The fourth post down from the Instagram post was about, in capital letters, Adrian Peterson is the best effing running back ever. And you know that he was responding to someone who responded in the top three about saying that he's not. But that's usually how comment sections go.
But seriously, if I could take that away from Ted's plate and he only had to do SMR or stock market report and Rick speak, I'd do it in a heartbeat because I miss it. I really miss it.
SMR sounded kind of sexy. Yeah.
It's so not.
David Carradine stuff going on here. All right, so
no,
so
not at all.
Before that reference doesn't land,
we
got a lot of show. Masters went on for some reason. Aaron Hernandez, Yigon. Wolves win the Lotto. Twins home opener for some reason. Die time. What are you talking about today, Die?
I'm going to talk about the professional athletes, the in each category, like each sport, that I would most like to punch in the face.
Ooh, give us a little amuse-bouche. Give us an appetizer.
What? He's an athlete?
He's an athlete. He played basketball in Coach Carter. He played football in 21 Jump Street. Hello.
Okay. Punching him in the face is unless he likes that, is the least thing that I would ever do.
It's part of SMR. All right,
S&M, maybe, if that's, his thing. I'd be okay with that.
Yes, that was the illusion.
So MLB.
Just give me a name that someone you want to punch. Come on.
AJ Pierzynski.
Oh, but who can really blame you there?
Well, I know, but God, I hate him. I would so totally love to punch him.
I mean, Ron Gardenhire is probably the most mild-mannered man there is out there, and he probably wanted to punch AJ when he was here.
Well, pretty much everybody would.
There you go.
Unless he's on your team. If he's on your team, then you just kind of put up with him.
And he was great when he was on the Cardinals last year. Got him to the playoffs.
Shut up.
Was he on the Cardinals?
Yeah, he was after Molina got hurt.
Oh, holy hell. Mark that. 7 minutes in before the first St. Louis sports reference. We didn't even talk about the Blues.
No, we haven't.
Or Ohio State, which is beautiful. Also talk a little bit of Wild in the first segment. And at the end, I'll pit the two of them. In Mortal Kombat, 2 people enter, 1 leaves. Play or nay, Minnesota Vikings edition. I'll explain the rules when we get there because Di, even though she's played the game twice before, kind of had some explaining. I mean, seems pretty binary, Di. Play or nay. It's either or.
I know, I
0 or 1.
Good at it before,
0 or 1. All right, but first let's hit it off with some Minnesota sports news. And sound drop will come in eventually on my end.
Minnesota sports news.
Now, this is high-tech stuff. The Wild open up the NHL playoffs tomorrow in St. Louis against the Blues. The Blues. And Dubnyk and Parise are fired up. And it's time because hashtag it's the cup. It's everywhere. That stupid hashtag that we hate.
Yeah, but everybody uses it, right?
2 girls, hashtag because it's cup. That was the easy one.
That was terrible.
Fine. But you two since one of you is a Wild fan and one of you is geographically defaulted to being a Blues fan for some reason, have a little have a little wet, have a little wager, have a little bet that came out wet, but wager, bet, what are the details?
Yes, we did. Go ahead, Ted.
Speechless.
Or not. Hello.
Actually, we might have lost Ted.
Okay, lost Ted.
Nope, Ted's back.
So,
Hello?
Yep, Ted's back.
okay, so we're talking about the wager.
Oh, here we go.
So Ted is a bandwagon Blues fan.
Okay, so here's the deal on hockey. Here's my deal on hockey. I grew up a rabid Minnesota North Stars fan. I would argue when I was a kid, I was probably a bigger North Stars fan than I was a Vikings fan. It was close. It was close. And then, I moved away, and where I lived at the time, Columbus didn't have professional hockey. There was no hockey anywhere in the state of Ohio. And it was they never covered it in the paper. So I kind of fell out of touch with the North Stars. I could keep up with the Vikings. And then I went into service, moved away. And then the North Stars moved to Dallas. I mean, I kind of followed them the last couple of years they were in Minnesota. They went to the Stanley Cup, I think, in like 91, whatever
They
it
were
was.
stolen away from Minnesota. Let's just make that clear.
Yeah. And so hockey was dead to me. I mean, literally, I didn't watch a minute of hockey from the time the North Stars left Minnesota until I came back to the States. Actually, until I came back, not only to the States, but when I moved here to St. Louis, and I'm like, well, there's a professional hockey team in St. Louis that I hated growing up. I hated the Blues because it was back then. It was the Blues, the Blackhawks, the North Stars. The old NFC Norris that Chris Berman called it. And
right.
Yeah, and so it was tough for me to get into becoming a Blues fan because I hated them growing up. And then I went to a couple games. I'm like, man, this is going to be kind of cool. And then Bettman locked out the entire NHL that year, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done with hockey. And so I'm finally, a little bit last year, I started getting into it, and I watched a couple games this year, but hockey and I still have a long, complicated relationship to work our way through.
But you're still a bandwagon Blues fan.
Yeah, I mean, at least I live in the city where they're playing. So, I mean, because like the Wild didn't even come into existence until I had been out of Minnesota for over 10 years, I think. So I was no affinity there.
And you know what? I get it, because it took me a really long time to embrace the Wild because I was so in love with the North Stars. I mean, my parents had season tickets. We went to tons of games, and they sucked for a while.
Guy's got a tattoo of Mike Modano on her inner thigh.
I do not, but he was still my favorite player. I have, an autographed puck. I have an autographed poster. Yeah, he was my guy. But anyway, still, it's like the Wild. Like, that's our team. And
oh, yeah, I get it.
I mean, I came around. It took me a while. That's what I'm saying. I understand how you felt like there was no team here, and you found a new team where you lived. But we're going to kick your ass.
Well, now,
I'm saying.
If Ted's a bandwagon fan, if St. Louis Blues fans are all bandwagon fans, do they call themselves the Sevens? Like the Seattle's 12s? Hello?
No. No.
I'm pretty sure there's six people on the ice in hockey.
Oh, no, they've had plenty of, Blues fans, like, for years and years and years. I mean, that's a long-standing hockey tradition there.
Yeah, this
but,
is really
Ted's just bandwagon.
I kind of am, yeah.
All right, so St. Louis is number 1 baseball, number 2 hockey, and number, 17 Rams?
Yeah, there's a lot of Rams apathy, and and it just has to do with the whole, are they going to move, are they not going to move? There's not a lot of season tickets getting renewed, and yeah, it's sad because when the Rams are good, this is a great sports town, and it just sucks to think that St. Louis could lose another professional football team. And I going through that with the Vikings and covering it and all that. I really feel bad for. Because I really feel bad for the fans, the Rams fans, because they deserve a good football team and they deserve a winning football team, and they're just getting bagged on by their owner, Stan Kroenke. It's a whole messed up situation.
Hey, but you're going to get the Raiders when they leave.
No,
Oakland.
I don't. I'd be surprised right now. I don't know the stadium detail here like I did for the Vikings. It just seems a long shot for them to get a new stadium built on the river. If they do, it'd be great. And yeah, I think if they do, I think they'll keep the Rams. But a lot could go in a bunch of different directions.
To veer off from Wild and Blues talk, it's kind of a game of musical chairs between the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Rams, because two teams are going to end up in L.A., but the question is what two now?
Yeah, two of the three will.
Bring on all three, why not? And then they could all leave in 10 years because no one in L.A. likes NFL. Because
no, it sucks.
L.A. people, they come from different areas and they all have their own team. But anyways, all right, so back to the bet. Fill in the details. What we got?
So if the Wild win, I have to go. I'm sure there's a hat store here in the greater St. Louis area. I have to go find a Wild hat, put it on, and take a picture of me wearing it, and that has to be my avatar on Twitter for a week. And if the Blues win, Di has to get a Blues hat, put it on, take a picture of it, of her wearing it, and make it her Twitter avatar for a week.
No,
that was the bet.
See, you should have made her go Blue Man Group, and Di, you should have made Ted dress like Green Man. From like Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I would not have done that. I would not have done that.
You're not going to wear a green latex bodysuit?
I will not.
Okay,
ever.
I would have worn a blue latex bodysuit. Just saying.
Well, that's not what Blue Man Group does. They're just like paint and then they bang on drums.
Whatever.
Fine. Speaking of Green Man, a new guy who is in the Green Jacket Club is Jordan Spieth. Won the Masters over the weekend. Ties Tiger's best score ever of 19 under. Basically, it was an ass-kicking from wire to wire. This after he finished second last year. The kid is only 21 years old, and I kind of like him. The guy's very easy to love.
What were you guys doing when you were 21?
Drinking and making bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fast women and slow ponies.
Ditto.
And
times
man,
5.
This guy has won the Masters, and before he could legally drink, he was like second.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was, when you looked at the leaderboard at the end of Saturday, you thought, man, this could really set up for like a great Sunday, because you've got, Tiger was right there, Phil was there. Rory McIlroy was in the hunt, and you thought, man, Spieth, he's good, but he's only 21. Is he going to be able to handle the pressure? And he just kept everybody at an arm's length all day. It was really impressive to see.
Well, I personally hate golf, and it's boring. And
but you're white.
I don't watch it, but this kid made me watch golf, and I loved every second of it. It was amazing, and good for him. Now, that's all I have. He made me enjoy watching golf.
Now, the next logical question is, can he be the next Tiger, where it's the casual golf fan, like I'll consider myself that, would tune in to the PBC Pebble Open on a random Saturday and be like, oh, he's doing work, or Sunday and watching him win?
Well, my thing is here. I've tried golfing, and so in one of the first dates that my husband and I ever went on, he took me to a driving range, and I'm sorry, but if you have big boobs, golfing is not possible. You can't.
I don't know. Have you seen Craig Stadler?
Mine are bigger. But I'm just saying, you can't, it's impossible. So that made me hate golf even more. But this kid, God, I love this kid. And I'm so, I watch, which I've never done. Like, I don't even give two shits about golf. But I watched this kid and watch him win it. And it was amazing. And, yeah, it's cool.
And also adding to his likableness is his sister has autism, and he already has a foundation for her. And the way he just comes off in interviews, and I think one of them he says that I want to be known more for what I do off the course and on it. It's this is a kid who has his head right and something that you can really respect. And he's a great athlete on top of it.
Yeah,
love him.
He said his goal was to win the Masters. Like, what do you do when you accomplish your goal at 21 years old?
Bang waitresses from Denny's and like everything you can. Oh wait, no, it's the other guy. All right.
No, you know what that kid does? He sets his goal higher, and he wins more Masters. That's what he does, and that's what he'll do.
He's gonna win the first golf tournament in space. There you go. 9 iron.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Speaking of shady characters like Tiger Woods, Aaron Hernandez, you go. Guilty on all charges, life without parole, which I found kind of funny. They gave him credit for 1 year time served for sure. Why not? Little funny tidbit. Apparently the prison that they sentenced him to is 1.5 miles from Gillette Stadium. So I actually think, like in a playoff game when that place is rocking, he'll be able to hear it. Thoughts on Aaron Hernandez?
Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. I almost think they did it on purpose.
Did you guys think, like, because the deliberations were taking so long, that he might actually get acquitted?
No, never.
I thought they were debating some of the secondary charges.
I never thought he would. I figured they were, well, I was hoping, but at the same time I figured they were going to hang his ass. And that's what they did.
I kind of thought that Hernandez might have gotten to a juror and bribed him to give him to get a hung jury, so they'd have to declare a mistrial. That's kind of one of my conspiracy theories that were floating around in my head. But I'm glad to see that justice was served because, I mean, he was guilty, man. He was so guilty. Well,
the thing is, like, even if he was acquitted or had a mistrial or a hung jury, is that he had the other double murder hanging over his head. And I know that's not funny, but
that's true.
My God, like, what kind of person has everything going for him and then just throws it away by being a wannabe gangster?
$40 million contract.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah, but speaking of $40 million contract, the Pouncey brothers still probably support him, and they're bringing in almost a combined $100 million in their new contracts. So, yeah, good choices there.
Who was the there was a player on Twitter. He's a
Brandon Spikes.
Brandon Spikes had that tweet like, what's wrong with the justice system in America today or something after the Hernandez
The only thing was
conviction?
missing was the SMH.
Yeah, no kidding. With the whatever emoji.
Mm-hmm. It was funny because Reef has been championing Brandon Spikes as option at inside linebacker, and then he tweeted, I was like, whoop, I guess I got to change all my mock drafts. Or all my articles on Bleacher Report. But, yeah, Aaron Hernandez, they should probably just bury him under the prison because, I don't know, he gone. Just a really terrible story of what athletes can do. Yeah, going from Jordan Spieth to Aaron Hernandez, that's a smooth segue. Also another bloodbath is Twins home opening day. Hello. All right, so fine. They got rocked by the Royals 12-3. They're currently beating the Royals 3-1, top of the sixth as we speak. Kevin Garnett, opening pitch. But I feel like the Twins are starting to become like a minor league team where it's like, hey, come see the local legend throw out the first pitch and come try all the awesome food options. The team might suck, but come on down.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That is exactly what they're doing.
I'm waiting for them to have like a Star Wars uniform.
It's like signing KG was such a total... I got nothing. It was completely ridiculous because people bought tickets, everyone wanted to see him, and then, KG.
Now, Ted, you're from a proud baseball town, so seeing all the Twins shenanigans and chicanery is probably fine to you, right?
It's sad. I mean, because, I grew up a Twins fan. Yeah. I mean, I grew up a Twins fan. So, and they were terrible when I was a kid. They've been terrible for the better part of my entire life. And, you know, the whole thing about the new stadium, Target Field, was that, well, now that they'll have money to compete and sign free agents to the big money contracts, and so instead of developing talent and let it walk, we'll have to, we'll be able to keep that talent. And that they're still not, and then they do these essentially publicity stunts by bringing back, guys like Torrey Hunter. Why didn't you keep Michael Kadire? Why didn't you keep Hunter? Why didn't you keep Santana? Which probably turned out to be a good deal because he blew his arm out, and but they were talking about giving him a minor league contract over the winter. I mean, it's just okay, you got a great farm system, and they might be okay, and some players might be okay in 3 or 4 years, but I mean, the Twins are perpetual sellers, always will be. Come trade deadline, they're going to be sellers. Any good player they have, they're going to get rid of more than likely eventually.
And Buxton, Sano, and Meyer are still down in the minors for some reason, even though Buxton's putting up like highlight reel vines and GIFs like all week so far. But it's really a sad state, and I'm with you, Ted. They should have kept Torrey the first time around, even though Torrey still has some legs left. And yeah, Kadire, I miss Kadire so much. God, he was so good.
I do too, but at the same time, like, they don't want to promote the good guys, like the young. They want to keep the young guys down in AAA, and I don't understand it at all. It's
to save money from and keep them a year away from arbitration.
Stupid. I mean, they're so bad right now, like so bad, like stupid bad. And they don't, like, it's like, okay, well, no, we're not going to bring him up. No, no, we'll just keep him down there. Yep, that's good. Yep. And
hey, but hey,
God,
at least your lover, your first crush, your beau, your bae, Kent Herbeck, was at Gate 14 greeting people, all like 400 pounds of them, on crutches.
I heard that.
Is he really that big now?
He's a big man.
Apparently he is.
Is he really?
But you know what? I still love him. Like, I still love him.
No, he has an amazing gig. So, local kid done good, gets to play professional sports for a living in his hometown, and then he's on scholarship for the rest of his life. He gets to eat, drink, and fish whenever he wants, and people love him.
He still have his fishing show on FSN North?
You know what? I don't even know, because I have to watch, like, cartoons on Saturday mornings now.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking,
I do believe he does. Actually, yes.
Speaking cartoons, and one more, just a little bit more salt in the wound. Your big free agent signing pitcher, gone for half the year for Peds. Good job.
Yeah, we don't even talk about him. I mean, he's only the biggest free agent signing in franchise history, and he's probably, those numbers are probably fraudulent in the first place. But
yep.
But he's so likable on Twitter.
No, he's not. Nobody likes him.
He's got a good last
nobody.
name.
Nope.
Fine.
Nobody. Nope.
Speaking of little dumpster fires, but in a good way, positivity flowing with the Wolves are online to win the lottery. They're 16-65 with one game to play, hosting the Thunder as we speak, and currently are behind by 28 points with about 7 minutes left in the third. I think Russell Westbrook is trying to score like 90 points tonight, which I wouldn't be mad. Thunder are fighting for a playoff spot. The Knicks are 17-64, hosting the Pistons. Doesn't really matter what they do as long as the Wolves lose. And in line to win the lottery, meaning a 25% chance to win the number one pick. Can't do worse than fourth. Hello, come on, Di, get excited.
Come on, it's Timberwolves. They're going to lose.
But it's not even that bad. Because if they win, it's like, ooh, we can have Okafor or Karl-Anthony Towns. If we lose and get fourth, we'll just take Willie Cauley-Stein. It's okay.
Yeah, but I want Towns bad. I really want Towns bad.
We do. Are you soliciting Karl-Anthony Towns?
I would. If it would help.
But you said you hate cats, and his initials are K-A-T, which is a cat.
Nope. Still. He's a big man.
Yep. All right, hold on.
Plays defense.
I got to mark that. That's the intro. That's the intro.
Need. I hate you.
Right.
God, I fucking hate you.
Ted, what's your thoughts on the what the Timberwolves consider basketball.
He doesn't even watch basketball.
I don't watch basketball, man. Here's my thought on the Timberwolves because it's Minnesota sports. Who are your big guys? The Wiggins and Rubio, and who's the other dude?
Wiggins, Levine.
Or is it just
yeah.
Levine, that's the guy I'm thinking of. Look, just enjoy them now because just like every other Minnesota superstar or even remotely good player,
effing mouth. I know exactly.
They're going to leave. They're going to leave, win a championship, and then they're going to come back to Minnesota when they're 38, broken down, and can't play anymore. There you go. There's Timberwolves' future, and they're not going to win the lottery because the one time they should have won the lottery.
Everybody hates you. You are such.
Look, I'm speaking the truth. You know I am. You can
are
laugh.
Hate you. Everybody hates you.
Shut up. Right.
Shut up. Shut up.
Right.
Shut up.
All right. Okay.
There we go.
And now I really
lost that lotto.
Yeah, stupid Orlando. All right, so I have one last topic for the A block, except I don't know if I want to put it out there because Ted's going to make fun of it. Go for spring game. It happened. Mitch Leidner still sucks, but Jeff Jones, running back, one of us, he's coming. 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. He runs upright like Robert Smith. Come on. Get excited. Even though, Ted, who's your football team? Ohio University, the Bobcats?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Bobcat. Ohio State. Ohio State, baby.
Now, how'd they do last year?
Fuck those
Pretty good. Pretty good. They did really good.
Fuck those guys.
National championship.
Well, no, they keep saying that this is going to be the biggest year in the Kill dynasty, as it were, even though our quarterback's Mitch Leidner.
Yeah, but it's Mitch Leidner. I mean, like, really?
No, he's Leidner's Tebow who can't throw.
No, he's not good. He's not good. He's not good.
And you know, people knock David Cobb's pass protection skills. I counter that it was Leidner throwing the passes.
Right.
Fine. Ted, how's your team spring game
maybe
looking?
the Vikings draft David Cobb. I'm just saying. It's cool.
Ted, how's your team spring game looking?
It's this Saturday. It's probably going to have, like 75 or 80,000 people there because Ohio State fans are nuts about football. It'll be interesting to see because J.T. Barrett's still hurt. He's not going to play.
Shut the fuck up.
It's okay. All right.
Now, what's your stadium's nickname? The Croc? Flip-flop?
I think it's called Shut the
Horseshoe.
Fuck Up.
Ohio Stadium, the Horseshoe.
All right. So we got to check out of this and take our first break and wash ourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka to get rid of all this Ohio State stank. And Urban Meyer and is making like $200 million per year now.
Bring that into this, seriously.
$6.5 million.
Shut up.
Worth every penny.
We'll be back with a little die time about who she's going to punch. I think Ted might be added to the list now. Talk some Vikings and also some play or nay. Andy Must Die, episode 10 of BRB. Goes a peek. The Purple for the Win podcast is your one-stop shop for the team you hate that you love. That's right, dedicated to the pain and pleasure that is the Minnesota Vikings. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube for our weekly and bi-weekly mediocrity. And, of course, there's always purpleftw.com. Because, aside from nipple clamps and chains and whips, cheering for the Purple People Eaters is probably the most pleasurable pain you can experience on this planet. So come on in. For the mediocre analysis and the more mediocre humor, purpleftw.com. That's right, purpleftw.com.
Straight cash, homie.
All right, and coming back from the break, and we're just talking about the joys of allergy season. Now, what are you allergic to? Sunshine, grilling out, good times, cold beer?
Nope, not at all. None of those things.
All right, so like mold, ragweed, pollen, that sort of thing?
Hay fever, yeah.
Packers fans, Brewers fans, Badgers fans?
Exactly.
They're all the same people.
Break out in hives.
All right, so let's get into a little die time this week. Now, this is very sober, very for a very special die time this week. Now, who are you going to punch?
Well, I normally do a more serious die time, but I decided I would like to have a non-serious die time. So it's the professional athletes that I would like to most punch in the face.
Yeah.
All right, so NBA. Guesses?
Charlie Villanueva.
Ted?
Kobe Bryant.
Kevin Love.
But LeBron says he's the MVP.
Yeah.
He is not.
Fine. What do you want to
He's
punch
such
Kevin
a
Love?
tubby little bitch.
But he's going to be back in Minnesota next season.
No, nobody
all
wants him
coming
back
together.
here. No, nobody wants him back here.
Hashtag one of us.
He never really was one of us, seriously. All right, so NFL. Guesses?
Aaron Rodgers.
Ray Rice.
Ndamukong Suh.
He's a big guy, though.
Yeah.
But he's such a dirty... I mean, you stomp a dude in his nuts? I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it was Matt Schaub. And then
it's aggression. He's just playing football.
then he just moonwalked over
No.
Aaron Rodgers. I ain't even mad.
Okay, well, runner-up.
Aaron
Guesses?
Rodgers. Or Tom
Guesses?
Brady.
John Kuhn.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah, well,
Because you
that's
know
a good
what?
one.
Everybody wants to fucking punch him in the mouth.
Well,
I'm sorry.
if someone,
Everybody does.
if you really punch Cutler in the face, could you really tell?
No,
He'll have no
He would-
emotion.
No, but it would make me feel better.
he wouldn't care either. Don't care.
He would. After I punch him.
Oh, fair enough.
All right. NHL. Guesses?
Ovechkin. Oh, no. Nikolai Have-Bulin. Damn it. I've been missing sneaking him into the show every week. Nikolai Have-Bulin.
Ted has no clue.
Somebody from the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, yeah, Kane. Kern.
This was a tie between Cody McLeod, who plays for the Avs, and Dustin Brown, who plays for the Kings. And they're both dirty, dirty little bitches.
Now, see, the thing is that Ted and I are not elite hockey minds, and you could have just completely made up two names from two cities that may or may not even have a team, and we'd be like, yeah. Cody Brown. Yeah.
Billy Ray Hamilton from San
Apparently,
Francisco.
I need to hold a school for the two of you.
Mike Tom Lejeune from the Albuquerque Isotopes.
Yeah, there you go. They're a baseball team, by the way.
Needs to get
Saw them
punched in
play
the
when I
face.
was in Albuquerque.
That's-
Triple A team.
Oh, dang it. That's right. Yeah. All right, so who do you want punching soccer?
I don't follow soccer.
Zinedine Zidane?
I don't. The only
Freddie
guy that
Adu?
knows in soccer is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Abby
and
Wambach?
I would never hit him in the face because he's gorgeous.
Who, Abby Wambach?
No.
What's that be
I get
mean?
nothing.
I mean,
Oh,
what do you got beef with Abby
I
Wambach?
do have a PGA player, though.
Tiger Woods.
Sergio Garcia.
No, it's Tiger.
Dang.
I fucking hate that guy.
I don't want to go the obvious
He's
route.
such a douchebag.
But he's turning his life around. He's dating #one of us, Lindsey Vaughn now.
No.
Is she from Minnesota?
Nope. Yeah, well, she is, but...
Well, is she from Minnesota or did she just live and
No,
train
she
here?
was just... Yeah, right. She lived here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Close enough. And plus, did you see the pictures of Tiger's ex-wife like hanging out with Lionel Richie on like a castle or something?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I may have just completely made that up, but for some reason I think I remember that. It's one of those things where you're
I
pretty
believe
sure
it.
the person's not lying because it's too specific.
You say it with authority and confidence, and 90% of the people are going to believe you.
All right, Di. Anyone else that you want to punch in any other various sports besides like Floyd Mayweather, obviously?
Well, no. He would be the person I would most like to punch in the face because he's such
Well,
generous.
you would be the first person to hit him square in the face in like 15 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the man may be a terrible human being, but he's a pretty good boxer.
He's a good boxer.
Well, yeah, but he also abuses women. So
Hey, we said we prefaced it, terrible human being.
Yeah.
Good boxer.
Right.
We did. We did. And by when I say we, I mean Andy did, and I agreed with him.
And by we, I mean the professional sports teams I root for, because I'm a proponent of saying we. Doesn't have to be they.
I would just love to have a couple of big, huge professional athletes hold him down while I punch him in the face.
That was not the direction I thought you were going to go with that.
I would love that. No, God, gross. Really?
I need to mark that. There's so many intros. I feel like
terrible.
we should just do an episode of just die intros of out of context
There is
quotes.
zero chance that I would ever be interested in him that way. Zero.
Fine. All right, give us one more for the road. Someone you want to punch. Like, seriously, just like wind up, really get into it. Make sure you get your hips into it as well.
Okay.
Power,
well,
torque.
I already said it earlier, but Gwyneth Paltrow.
Why do you want to punch
She's not
Gwyneth
an athlete,
Paltrow?
but okay. Hey,
She's
she's
not
going
an
to welfare
athlete.
this week.
But she's such a C word, and I'm being conservative.
She's a cauliflower ear, Kedge. See?
It's like, you know what? If you feel bad for people who are on food stamps, write some big fucking checks and volunteer at a food shelf. Maybe, then people will respect you, but probably not, because you're such a C word.
Wait, so what was she doing that pissed you off?
Oh, you didn't know?
Nah, I don't follow Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay. So she did this thing where she was trying to live off of like $27 a week food stamps
Yeah.
to bring awareness to people who, live off that on food stamps. She did.
Yeah.
Did she make it
bought,
or did she die?
5 limes and, several things of kale and no proteins she's just such a freaking C word.
Can of corn.
Candy corn. She's such a freaking candy corn.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Contagion?
No.
All right, so in the movie, Matt Damon plays a Minnesota man who survives a terrible disease that spreads everywhere, and he also survives being married to Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's true.
Matt Damon is hashtag one of us.
But nobody survives that. Like, that's...
The guy from Coldplay did.
He's like a national hero.
Consciously uncoupling.
People should he deserves like a huge award for that, for surviving that.
Matt Damon or the guy from Coldplay?
Well, I hate Coldplay, so I can't do that. But, Matt Damon, cool, yeah.
Okay, I hate Coldplay.
I hate Coldplay.
I mean, they're okay, but
No,
it
they're
seems like
not.
they're
They're
hate-worthy.
terrible.
They're not like Nickelback.
God, no, their songs are terrible. They all sound the same. Coldplay sucks.
Ted, who's your
Really?
favorite musician? George Jones?
No, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yay! I love that.
Do you?
That's not Coldplay.
Oh,
so.
who's your favorite musical artist? Not Coldplay.
Bruce Springsteen.
You're
such
such a
a liar.
copycat. Yeah. Just say
Such a liar.
Just say Prince or Morris Day and the Time, then we can just
Well,
move on.
I love Prince. I do love Prince. But seriously, well, that's fine. I'll do Prince. God damn you.
Nothing compares to you, Die. All right, next up, speaking of sticking in the state of Minnesota, Vikings. A little Vikings talk. We haven't really talked a ton of Vikings on the show, even though that's all our forte, kind of. Adrian is eligible for reinstatement today. I didn't see anything come across the wire that he officially was, but so we'll see. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think he's going to face any further suspension because that would be just punitive by the league. But then again, it is Goodell.
Well, I didn't see him file his 2015 taxes. So if he didn't, then no deal.
Hey, well, Adrian, if you move to Texas, there's no state income tax, so that's one less form that you have to turn in. Hello.
Nope, he had to do it here. He had to file his 2015 taxes here in order to be reinstated.
Was that legit? Because that sounds like some BS. That sounds like some Greg
No,
Jennings.
that was like an
April Fool's
NFL
Day.
thing. No, it was an NFL thing. Seriously.
Yeah, that was one of the stipulations the NFL put on.
That was legit. No way.
I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah,
That just seems so random.
it is. Yeah, but it's Roger Goodell. Everything he does is just random.
All right, but let's get on the table. Current thoughts on the Adrian situation and odds if he's going to be on the team this year. Ted, let's start with you.
I think he will be on the team when it's all said and done. I think he's going to get reinstated. The only way he isn't is if Rick Spielman can swing a pretty significant trade, and I just don't see that happening with the quality and depth of running backs in the draft. You can get a cost-controlled, pretty talented guy for 4 or 5 years, or you can give up a bunch of draft picks for a guy who's still the best running back in the league, but he's 30, so you'll have him for 2, maybe, and you're going to have to pay him a ton of money on top of that. So, all it takes is one, but I don't see the Vikings releasing him. They're not going to do that, and so now it becomes down to either play for the Vikings or give me a lot in a trade, or Adrian Peterson doesn't play, and he's not going to not play, if that makes any sense.
Well,
he's going to play.
You know, Dad, that Adrian Peterson going to rush for about 3,500 yards because she's the greatest of all time.
Oofta, don't you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a good year. It's going to be I think resolved sooner rather than later. I don't know why he's not reinstated today. It just whatever with the NFL and Goodell and all that other stuff. So yeah, we'll see. But I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be on the Vikings in 2015.
Di, your thoughts?
Nope. I think he's gone. I believe that he doesn't want to be here, and they don't want him to be here, and I think that they figure out a trade. I do not know who they're going to trade with, but I seriously believe that he's not going to be here. He will not wear purple again, ever, which is what I said, a long time ago. But
now, I actually gained a lot of respect for Spielman and the Vikings front office, the way that they're not acquiescing to Adrian and Dogra's request for a new contract, because the Vikings have all that leverage there. He is under contract. He does have to show up or he don't get paid, which is $12.75 million. It's okay, even in 2015 money. And a couple of the guests that I've had on Purple for the Win lately are starting to kind of think that he might get moved. And hold on, I need to go putting on my full tinfoil hat here, even though tinfoil sounds a lot like paper. All right, so here is what's going to happen. I feel like Rick is such a guy who plans ahead so much that he already has handshake, wink, nod deals in his pocket with Arizona, Dallas, maybe a wild card like Jacksonville or Tampa. And, if the cards fall right in the draft, and it certainly could, like Gurley goes to San Diego at 17, spot of need there. And then Melvin Gordon, the second of the top 2-tier running backs in the draft, goes to like Detroit at 23, pair him up with Joique Bell. Arizona sitting there at 24, and then Steve Keim and his bald-ass head and the dip in his lip, he just sighs and picks up the phone, calls Rick, and be like, all right, fine. That deal we agreed to a couple weeks ago, if this happened, a first and a conditional third for Adrian. We got the room. We restructured. Fitzgerald, Palmer, got rid of Dockett. Let's do this because we're gearing up for 1 year. And, Gurley, Gordon, and the other various running backs like Abdullah, they could be good down the line, but Adrian Peterson could be good right now because I do think that he has one great year left in him. And, if we do trade Adrian, that's something the Vikings fans just are going to have to live with. That's why he has value, because he's got one good year left in him. And a team like Arizona or Dallas just completely loading up for 1 year, I could see that happening.
Yeah, I could buy that. But I don't know. It's a lot. A first-round pick is a lot to give up, and I don't see Spielman accepting anything less than a first-round pick for Peterson. That's just me, though.
Or
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past like Tampa or Jacksonville just having a brain fart and doing something stupid.
Or Cleveland. I mean, there's, when all hope is lost, we can always call Cleveland.
I feel so bad for Cleveland because, they're sitting there at 12, and, Spielman's already talking to Ray Farmer. Is like, hey, Devontae Parker's on the board, and I got someone on the phone who wants to take him or will take him. You better move up from 12 to 11 and, just leave that fourth-round pick at the door. Yeah.
If I was Spielman, I'd prank call Ray Parker, say, hey, I got a homeless guy on the phone that says you need Devontae Parker, but you need to give me a first, a second, and a fourth. How about it? He'd do it. He would.
I kind of feel bad because I feel like there's always this one person in your fantasy league who fleeces you on deals, and then you never want to do business with them again. I feel like that's Rick Spielman. He's that guy.
Yeah.
Like if you see Rick's number on the Carl ID, you're like, yeah, pick up, click.
Yeah, I agree. He's made some really good deals for the Vikes.
All right, but draft as is, and everyone and the mother is on like mock draft 47.95, and it gets a lot of clicks, it gets a lot of listens this time of year. There's a reason why I'm jamming in 8 episodes of Purple for the Win all on draft covered before the stupid draft. But right now, who are you guys standing on the table for? Praying falls to the Vikings at number 11. Ted, start with you.
What I really want, I'm so sick of hearing all, the Trey Waynes and Devontae Parker, and I want them. This is what I want. This is what I want them to do.
Stop it. Just don't. Just don't.
No,
I know
no.
exactly what we're going to say. Stop it.
I want them to go like Ohio State guys, 1-2. I want them to get Michael Bennett in the first and then Devin Smith in the second, and just have everybody go nuts and call, oh, this is terrible, it's awful, blah, blah, blah. I'll just be laughing the whole night. It would be fantastic.
You are such a little dirty homer.
I know, but realistically, I think they're going to get with Zimmer's background as a defensive guy and a cornerbacks coach. I think he goes after like Trey Waynes from Michigan.
No, I don't want Trey Waynes. No.
Well, Trey Waynes made his bones covering Big Ten wide receivers, so that he's good.
And so many people, everybody wants them to go Trey Waynes. I don't want them to go Trey Waynes. I want La'el Collins or Brendan Scherf. That's what I want.
I've been on the Scherf train the entire time. Just it's not sexy, but just get a big ass physical left guard and plug him in for the next 10 years. But of course, we said that about Khalil too. But
you don't draft a guard at 11.
The Vikings drafted Randall McDaniel.
Sorry,
was it 9?
Seriously?
Actually, now I got. But McDaniel's a Hall of Fame guy, though. I mean, Scherf.
And your guy? Hall of Fame guy?
Which guy would that be?
The 37th Michael Bennett to be on the Vikings. If they draft
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
No.
That'd be awesome. No, they're not going to get him at 11. I'm saying trade down. Spielman's going to trade down. He's going to trade. He's going to trade down in like the 20s.
I hate you for this. You are such an Ohio State homer.
That's great.
And it's disgusting.
I don't have to be a rational analyst anymore. I can be a total homer fanboy. I want Michael Bennett.
Well, then we can all
Devin
say
Smith.
what your takes are shit.
I know they are.
There we go.
For the record, Randall McDaniel, number 19 overall in the 1988 draft out of Arizona State. I wonder if Master knows that. Yeah, he probably does.
Probably does.
Yeah.
Well, Master.
And, Scherf is definitely not sexy, but he's just this mean-ass, nasty dude. He'll never be a left tackle. The Maryland game kind of showed that because he got kind of blown up by Maryland. But just a big, physical left guard where it's a spot of need we don't have to worry about anymore. And I know everyone wants Parker or Cooper or White, but this isn't fantasy football.
Nope.
The wide receiver is actually pretty good. I actually think they're the deepest unit on the team.
La'el Collins. That's what they need. La'el Collins or Scherf.
That's what
LOL
that's
Collins?
What
they got to do.
LOL.
I mean, that's what they need to do. Seriously.
Oh, that would be so perfect. If they do draft him and if Khalil doesn't pan out and they move La'el Collins to left tackle, every time he goes up a sack, it'd be like, hello.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Do you think Scherf will be on the board at 11, though? I really don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about. A lot of people
But you don't
put him at
know.
Giants
I mean,
at 9,
there's
St. Louis at 10.
I mean, the right now what's on the board is crazy.
And
like nobody
I
knows.
actually ranted about this a little bit to Die last week about mock drafts and how everyone with the keyboard and internet connection can have mock draft and look semi-professional and not put in the work.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Sharif Floyd came out, like a lot of people had him projected as a top 5 pick easily, and some of them even had top 3. And then so when he fell to the Vikings in the 20s, I was like, oh my God. But now we see he's a work in progress. He wasn't that home run guy who should have been top 5.
Nope. Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so enough wallowing about the Vikings draft. Let's play a little game. Let's get a little music going. And all right, so it's game time, and we're going to play a little Play or Nay Minnesota Vikings edition. Now, the rules are very simple, even though Di was a little confused. It's okay. But this is for Ted, and for Di too. So I'm going to throw out a name. I'll give you the position first of an NFL football player, and then you ring in by saying your name. So, Ted, say Ted. Di,
Ted.
Say Babatunde. And
What?
Fine, say Di.
Let's say Ted, and I'll say Di.
All right, and then I'll be like, yes, Di. What is your answer? And you'd be like, play. If you think he played for the Vikings, or if you don't think he played for the Vikings, you say nay. And that is the genesis of Play or Nay. Good times. All right, we ready?
All right. Yep.
And as always, the correct answer will be a ding. Wrong answer will be Herman Edwards.
Hello?
There we go. First one out of the gate. All right, so we got 11, by the way, so there can be no ties.
So if we know the answer, what do we have to do? Say like, yay, or what do you have to do?
You say die to ring in.
Okay.
Because there are rules here, Di. This isn't Vietnam.
God damn it. Okay.
First one off the board. Quarterback. Brett Favre.
Ted.
Die.
Ted, you rang in first. What you got?
God damn it.
He played for the Vikings.
That is correct. Brett Lorenzo Favre played for the Vikings from 09 to 2010, but we don't really count 2010. It was all 09. So Ted has the early lead, 1-0. Number 2, wide receiver, Justin Gage.
Ted,
you got it.
He did not play, so it would be not what's
Nay.
nay. He's a nay.
Ted says nay. What says the board? That is correct. Justin Gage, wide receiver for the Bears and the Tennessee Titans, the pride of Missouri. He a Tiger. Number 3, Di. You got some catching up to do. Yeah, Di. Just yell out Die. Just like in your normal life, just yell out your name just at random times because you got a 50-50 chance anyways.
Thanks.
All right. Number 3, defensive end, John Bosa.
Ted,
ringing in.
no, nay.
That is correct. John Bosa, the father of something called Joey Bosa, played for the Dolphins from 87 to 89. Now, why did I put that one on the board? I don't really know. Who knows? Who knows why things happen like this? So Ted is up 3-0. He is
Statistical anomaly that was.
He's basically the Oklahoma City Thunder to Di's Timberwolves tonight, but it's all for a good cause.
I seriously don't even care.
Die.
Okay.
Just yell die. Number 4, offensive guard, Corbin Lasina.
Ted.
Die.
Sorry, Di. Ted got it in. Ted, what you got?
Damn it! You're such a cheater.
He played for. Does play.
That is correct. Corbin Lasina, member of the Vikings from 99.
Okay, I'm not playing anymore. I quit. Yep, I'm done.
Die. Just yell die. Actually,
I did.
it was a little late. Corbin Lasina, Mankato born, went to Augustana, which I think is in South Dakota. But anyways, hashtag one of us. Number 5, safety, Jack Tatum.
Ted. I paused. She didn't even answer.
Ted.
But he did not. He did not play.
That is
Nay. He'd be a nay.
That is correct. Jack Tatum spent his career with Oakland and the Oilers. He also had a hell of a hit on Sammy White in the Vikings-Raiders Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 11. Yep. And he played for Ohio State in college, just for the record.
Damn it! That one wasn't even intentional. All right. So we're going to institute a little league rule here now. Ted's going to have a 2 count before he can
I
ring
don't
in.
care. I'm done. I quit. Whatever.
All right, well, let's just rally these off just for the LOLs then. And Di, if you get one on the board, little fella, I mean, it'll be good. Number 6, defensive tackle, Brock Lesnar.
Die.
Oh, yes. Who's this person?
He was on the practice squad.
That is correct. Actually, that should be a bonus point because he was on only the training camp roster of 2004.
See?
Well, I guess that's not practice
Yay,
squad.
me.
No, so that should be
Hello?
Actually, that should be incorrect because you're practice squad. Anyways,
Fuck you.
Brock Lesnar, Gopher, # one of us, professional wrestler, MMA fighter, kind of, was part of the Vikings in 2004. Wore number 69 before his cool Jared, you poser. Number 7, Ted is up 5-1. Comeback. Don't call it a comeback, Di. Number 7, quarterback, Archie Manning.
Die.
Ted.
Di, what you got?
Yes.
That is correct. He ended his career with the Vikings from 83 to 84. Also wore number 4 before it was cool. Sorry, Brett. So Di, you're catching up. 5-2. Now you're very lucky that it's like the Little League team that was getting 10 runned, and now they're coming back.
up.
All right, fine.
Just play.
Number 8, kicker, Morton Anderson.
Yes. Die.
Okay. Yes, Di.
No.
That
He
is
did not play for the Vikings.
Hello?
Yeah, he did.
that is incorrect, Di.
Son of a bitch.
2004.
He was the kicker in the 2004 playoff game.
Fuck you, Ted.
The
I'm just saying.
The scourge of the 98 championship game coming back to try and propel the Vikings in the playoffs. Didn't work, but close enough. All right, so
Hey.
score remains 5-2. Now we're just skating for fun. Number 9, offensive tackle, Richmond Webb.
Ted.
Ted.
No. Nay.
That is correct. 7-time Pro Bowler.
Damn, you guessed that.
4-time All-Pro, Dolphins, and the Bengals. Our last 2 just for the Lyle Collins. Number 10, tight end, Stu Voigt.
Die.
I'm going to give the tide to the runner. Di, what you got?
Yes.
That is
Played for the Vikings.
correct. And was in the news recently. Little Ponzi scheme action going on. It makes sense because he played college ball for the Badgers. So his underhanded, nefarious schemes, it's all come together.
Because of course.
There you go. Ted's leading 5-3. Di's making it look close. Number 11, the final question. Wide receiver, Bobby Wade.
Die.
Die.
Yes.
That is correct. Bobby Wade, 07 to 08. He was a Viking. Also was a starting wide receiver during Adrian's 296 game against the Chargers in 07, which is very depressing. I think it was him and it might have been Berrien. Quality receiving group there. Plus
Bernard Berry.
Plus T-Jack and Brooks Bollinger were the quarterbacks of that game. And yes, there were 2 of them. Yeah, that is messed up. But
That's terrible.
Di, you made it close at the end. But Ted, you eked it out with a 5-4 win.
Oh,
Giving you-
good for you.
Good for you. Now, is this the greatest accomplishment of your career?
It's right up there. Yeah, definitely top 5.
Absolutely. All right, so let's close out this episode with a little bit of levity with our Twitter questions. We got a bunch of them in here. Cherry pick the good ones. Number 1, this one is from something called Tommy Gunn. Who finishes with more wins, Twins or Brewers? Ted, we'll start with you.
Brewers.
Di?
I gotta go Brewers. I mean, the Twins are a fucking dumpster fire.
And
so,
the
yeah.
Brewers are terrible, but the Twins are even worse than the Brewers.
They are.
I mean,
yes.
and the Brewers are getting stomped right now by the Cardinals, by the way.
It doesn't matter. They're yeah.
See, the Twins run so bad is that they can't even get the guys who are good at cheating, and then the Brewers get a guy who's good at cheating, Brian Braun. I mean, so come on. Come on, Irvin. Step up your game a little bit. Blame the piss tester like Braun did. Anyways, next one up is from a good friend, Nickason. Favorite type of salad? And he listed off Caesar, Cobb, potato, taco, pasta, etc. Question mark. Ted, favorite salad?
Bacon salad.
Bacon salad. Die.
Caesar.
Caesar's really good, but like a good Cobb salad or like some really good homemade potato salad's fantastic too, especially in the summer, grilling out with a couple of beers.
Does egg salad count?
Egg salad will count.
No, egg salad, gross.
It has the word
no.
salad in it. How
Terrible.
can it not count?
Awful.
It counts. Egg salad counts.
Egg salad. Ted's the type of guy who would eat egg salad on a plane without his shoes on.
No,
He
I'm
is.
not that. I'm not that guy.
He's that guy.
Close, but I'm not that guy.
He's that guy.
All right, next one up is Judd Zolgad's hoodie. Is there ever a time jorts are considered okay to wear? ? Ted.
No.
Nope.
Well, maybe like WeFest, like some sort of
Nope.
Bonnaroo,
Nope.
Coachella.
Never. Nope. Never.
Well, yard work. I do. I
No.
work jorts for yard
Never.
work.
Nope.
What about a woman? All the
Just
all
no.
the time.
Nope.
All the time.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Daisy Dukes die.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh my God. No.
Fine.
Nobody wants to see
fine.
that.
Well,
No.
okay. Next one's from Rob. He asked about the best way to drink gin last week, so this time he asked, what's the best way to drink whiskey, Ted?
Straight.
Die.
I don't drink whiskey. So
What?
I have nothing.
If it's brown, chug it down. Die.
Nope. Nope. Got nothing.
Is that advice from your dating life?
Pass.
Too? Fine. I would say I'm not old or
I'm married. I don't have a dating life.
I'm not grizzled or sophisticated enough to drink whiskey or Scotch neat yet, but I do like on the rocks or like whiskey in a little water. It's not bad. I'll get there. I'll get to your level there, Ted.
And I actually like whiskey sour. That's pretty good too.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty good.
Except you gotta get like it professionally made, not like the out of
Yeah.
the bottles like sugar-y stuff. All right.
That's true.
All right, next one, Jonathan Dreyer. What round will the Vikings draft a running back, Ted?
I'm gonna go third or fourth, just because the running back depth is so good in the draft this year, and they've got a pretty good running back last year in Jarrett McKinnon. So
Follow-up question: who is it?
I'm gonna go either Amir Abdullah or David Cobb.
Die.
Oh, I love David Cobb. So I'm going to go early third with David Cobb.
I've been kind of going back and forth. I feel like Cobb, like Jay Ajayi, David Johnson, Northern Iowa are all kind of like that mid-tier, third or fourth round running back, and I'll be fine with either of them. But I'll say third for the running back again, especially if Adrian is moved, and then pairing Sledgehammer like those three guys are, and a guy who's great in between the 20s like Jarrett McKinnon, who I still think could be a phenomenal running back in his own right. Yeah, that's not a replacement for a Hall of Fame running back, but it's not a bad start. And plus, the league is starting to become more running back by committee anyway, so
Yeah, that's a good strategy right there.
Absolutely. Last one is about Burr. Logan Mironov-Chin, who's a big fan of all of our various shows, asks, what is the best Surly brew, and also pair it with a meal? Ted.
Surly, I take it that's a type of beer up there in Minnesota?
Yep.
I wish I could speak intelligently on it. I've never had a Surly brand beer.
All right. Well, it's kind of craft beer, dark IPAs, stuff like that.
Ooh. So if you're talking IPA, then you gotta have a Reuben with an IPA.
Oh, that's a good call. Di, what say you?
I'm not a fan of their beer, so I have nothing.
What?
Nope, don't like it.
What is your favorite kind of beer then?
Well, I mean, I like dark beer, but I don't like IPA, or EPA. So, nope, got nothing.
All right, I'm gonna say, Logan, get a Surly Furious going, and then also with like a really nice buffalo chicken sandwich. Like you can go grilled, you can go fried, either way, but it's a good combo. Plenty of ranch or blue cheese on the side too. It's fantastic. It's good either way. Yeah. Damn it, now I'm hungry, and it's like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm starting to find that's something that older people can't do.
What's that? Eat at night?
Yeah, because
you haven't been to my house, my friend.
you get some heartburn, you got some acid reflux, you can have some bad dreams, your gout starts acting up.
Yeah, all that.
Shut the fuck up. I have no of those problems. Seriously.
You don't got gout?
No.
Oh. I'm jealous.
You should be.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for the show. Is there anything exciting for you guys coming up?
No.
Ted's going to announce that he's going to come back to
You're free.
soon.
You don't even have to cover the draft. You don't have to write
Nope.
like 18 posts about the draft.
Nope. I do
Nope,
not.
but at some point he's going to announce that he's coming back to DN. I firmly believe that.
Like I said, never say never, but I don't think so.
Ted's coming back to DN to SMR.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
N.O.
Which sounds a little bit like innuendo. Die. Now, I feel like this entire time we've been talking about the upcoming Adrian Peterson piece.
I got nothing. I don't care. Like, seriously, I'm over the Adrian Peterson thing. I don't care.
What, did you have like some sort of novella all ready to go?
Nope. Don't care. Do not give a shit.
All right, well,
there you go.
What's coming up for you? You doing some draft stuff? You done moving, etc.?
Still unpacking, which frickin' sucks. But yeah, draft stuff for sure.
What are you gonna write about? How the Vikings drafted 17 Buckeyes.
That'd be great. If they're okay, I'll tell you. I'll make this
Why did we not cut
promise.
him off? Well, have we not cut it off?
I'll make this promise.
No, we are
if
not
the Vikings
gonna draft.
nothing but Ohio State guys, I will come back at the end.
Shut up.
Well, I think they'd have to change the colors on the site at least.
That'd be great.
Blend the
Nobody
purple
cares.
with the red. I guess that'd be just
Yeah,
like a darker
nobody-
purple.
Nope.
Hand out a couple
Done.
Buckeye leaves,
Nope.
put them on the helmets.
Nope. Nobody cares.
Fine. This week for me, 3 episodes at Purple for the Win. Had Eric Thompson on Monday, talked about Game of Thrones, even though it's a show I don't watch, so it was very interesting. It was a good time either way. Then today I had on Eric Galko of Opt Up and Scouting, talked a lot about Vikings draft, and he dropped a couple of sleepers that got me like, yeah, I can see that. See, that's the great thing about draft time is that someone can throw out a name and have some educated reasoning behind it and be like, oh, yeah, we got to get him. Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, but 99% of those never pan out.
No, but we got to get Ali Marpet.
Who?
He's a guard out of like some random D3
Exactly.
school. He's going to be the next Fusco.
Right.
Fusco 2.0.
Yeah.
Fusco both guards. Let's go.
Yay.
And then Friday, I'm compiling a bunch of Vikings fans, and they did the mock drafts, and just talk through this. So it's basically an entire show of that. And actually, Judd Zulgard's hoodie was on that show, and he's actually a real person. I'm shocked because I recorded that the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he exists.
Yeah, whatever.
And yeah, sorry, I forget that's a little shade, but yeah, that's coming up, and also jamming like 8 episodes of Purple for the Win because I'm stupid, but it gets clicks and it gets SEO clicks, so I don't care. And we're also having a live stream on Vikings territory on Purple for the Win draft night. Tested out the stream today. Everything's kosher, and I'm talking for 4 straight hours about the draft.
Wow.
I'm going to have a lot of guests on. Ted, Di, you should call in from your respective draft parties. Levels of soberness, doesn't matter. Just call in. Be like, I can't believe they got Sheriff. Fantastic. and
Well, I would hope so. Like, that would be awesome.
And we got to learn a lesson from last year because a lot of people shut down, and like my friend Nick left a Vikings draft party after they drafted Barr, and you can't sleep on Rick. He's coming back in at 32, 29, 30, 31. He's coming back in. He's getting a second round pick or a second first round pick again.
I think it wouldn't surprise me if he does.
Boom.
I wouldn't be surprised if he trades down, and then So he trades like, at 15-ish, 16-ish, and then gets another pick in 27, 28.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to... All right, here's the coup de grace. He trades down from 11 to 12 with Cleveland, picks up their 4th-round pick, because poor Cleveland. He's going to trade Adrian to Arizona at 24, pick that up, and then he's also going to package the 2nd-round pick, a 5th-round pick, and then Cleveland's 4th to Belichick for the 32nd pick. So he's going to have 3 picks in the first round again, so make it 10 total in the last 4 drafts, because why not? He's Rick.
You think Spielman, like when he gets in a trade rut, he just calls Cleveland kind of like a slump buster?
Oh, poor Cleveland. Poor Cleveland. They're always the side piece.
Man, my week hasn't been that great. I'll call Cleveland and make a trade with them and feel better about myself.
Jai, are you familiar with the term slump buster?
Yes, I am, actually. Very much.
Sorry, it was wildly inappropriate. I apologize.
It's all good. All right,
well, you know what? Cleveland would be a slump buster. Just saying.
All right, so last piece before we go. Ted, so you're not coming up to Mankato this year as a fan?
Nope.
Mankato is picturesque. It's the crown jewel of South Central Minnesota.
It is, but I will not be there.
I was looking forward to making fun of your height a little bit because, all right, so full disclosure, when we first started talking, I kind of pictured you as like a tall guy, military officer, maybe like too tall from, what was that movie? We Are Soldiers? We Were Soldiers? Yeah. Him. And then apparently I got confirmation from several sources, because my sources talk and text more than people know, that you're about a reef height or slightly taller.
I'm taller than a reef. Well, it's not about. I am taller.
All right, so but you're shorter than Eric, right?
Yeah.
All right, but you're taller than
Eric. Eric's. Yeah.
So you're about my height, probably like 5'8" on a good day.
Yeah, I'm 5'8".
Bam. Damn it, we could have seen eye to eye, literally, Ted.
Well, we could have, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it up this year.
All good. Hey, at least you'll get to cheer on the Minnesota Fighting Vikings as we go 10-6, win the North, and get in the tournament, and then who knows what happens.
Yeah, they're right there. One good draft, I think they're right there.
Mankato for you?
Yes, I think I will be at Mankato. I would love to be there to cover the Vikings and for DN, and I think that's going to happen.
See, I've been offered a media pass with Vikings territory, except I don't even think I'm going to take it because I don't have the desire or really skills of like a bedside manner of like a reporter, like a serious reporter, because I would just walk up to Jabari Price and be like, hey, why'd you get that DUI? Or why are you still here?
Yeah, that'd be poor form. Just saying.
Yeah. So my plan is to set up this beautiful little podcast setup and live stream and in like Tav on the Ave or hell even like the B-Dubs there. And then you guys, after a long day of work, of working in the field, the farmhands are coming home. Just come in, have a seat, and just be like, hey, talk to Uncle Andy. Di, you want to do that?
I'm in.
Yeah. Because I'm your uncle, because I'm obviously like 20 years older than you.
Yeah, because you are, yeah.
Booyah.
For sure.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Follow us on Twitter at Andy Must Die. Subscribe, rate us on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, everywhere. Also on Die's MySpace page, which is getting a lot of clicks, a lot of traffic nowadays.
What? Stop it.
Website, as always, AndyMustDie.com. I'm Andy Carlson. She is...
At Die Murphy MN.
Ted, hey, thanks for joining us. You're welcome anytime, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
At Purple Buckeye, which is an homage to... I can't think of anything smart-ass off the top of my head. Thank you for listening. Have an awesome week. Boil your brats in cheap beer. Don't waste your good beer. Cheap beer is the way to go with the brats. Do that. Make sure you boil the brats, too. I mean, yeah, just do that. All right, we're out. Have a good week.
The music was created and produced by Deeb. To hear more of his tracks, check out soundcloud.com/Deeb.
We needed to get this right.